In 2011, Japan was hit with destruction and chaos. Yet, even after all this, some companies were still able to flourish. One of them being Studio Trigger. Studio Trigger was founded by former Gainax employee Hiroyuki Imashi and Masahiko Otsuka, and they released their first anime, Kill la Kill. They continued releasing notable works such as Little Witch Academia and the now famous Darling in the Franxx. They also started producing films, with Promare being the third most notable. Promare was directed by the same person behind Gurren Lagann, and like its predecessor, it has similar style. If you know anything about Gurren Lagann, then yes, this anime is really over the top, with characters who have hardcore personalities. Let me say something real quick about Studio Gainax. They had a few big hits, one of them being Gurren Lagann, which became so popular it even has a cult following. They also produced Naughty of the Blue Water, which is cool and worth watching, all in Panty and Stock, an anime from 2010. So back to Promare. Before it was released, there was a lot of buzz around the film, because it was directed by the same guy who worked on Gurren Lagann. Now let's get into the story of Promare. Globally, human beings began combusting in an unexplained phenomenon called the Great World Blaze. During this disaster, some people developed fire abilities and are called the Burnish. At first, the animation looks different, almost like a documentary, but then it drastically changes in styles as we move to the present time. Back to the story. We meet Burning Rescue, a special force dedicated to fighting a terrorist group of Burnish called Mad Burnish. So, it's about firefighters fighting fire people? Yeah, in simple terms. Some say it's X-Men meets Fire Force. But is there anything really deep here? Well, not really, because it's not so much about a logical or deep story. It's about the rule of cool. In animation and other forms of media, which refers to the idea that style, visual appeal, or the sheer excitement of a scene should take precedence over realism, logical consistency, or even narrative coherence. If something looks or feels cool, it is often embraced regardless of how believable or practical. This animated film follows the rule of cool and doesn't focus too much on making the story deep. Much of the first half is predictable as we see how the Burnish are treated in society. It then shifts towards the end, focusing mostly on fight scenes. Yeah, some of the fight scenes look nice. Many might seem cool and fast-paced, but they can also drag. The near 2-hour film is hard to watch with characters like these, who don't have much going on in terms of development. In the end, we can appreciate many areas of the film, especially how it was produced by a small studio, the message of friendship, resilience and seeking justice, and how seeking justice can be difficult but not impossible. The final battle delivers what many Gurren Lagann and Studio Trigger fans came to see. An ending was a blast. The characters simply do what needs to be done in classic super robot style. The film focuses initially on the story of good versus evil, but it doesn't end there. Its main focus is on the rule of cool. It might not be a great film, but hey, it has pretty colors. And I guess this is what made the kids who want to see stuff like explosions and lights want to check out the film. The characters are there. Now, why am I saying this? It's because they are there. But it feels like nothing really happens with them until the end. The character Gallo is like someone from Gurren Lagann, but from a different dimension. As for the others, I don't want to get too much in detail, except for Leo, a Burnish terrorist. There's also some scenes where they try to build up relationships, but then suddenly drop them. There are scenes where if you've watched many shows or films, you'll probably just be on your phone or spacing out during those moments. I could talk about the characters endlessly, but honestly, they were just there. To me, the fight scenes are kinda messy. The animation is weird. It's not very detailed, with lots of scribbles and strange CGI. The colors are bright, but lack much detail. The backgrounds aren't detailed, the mechas, no detail, and even small things like fire, what the heck, no detail. At times the animation looks like confetti. The CGI isn't impressive, or at least I didn't find it impressive. Some might enjoy the excessive movements and colors, but sometimes it's just too much and ruins the enjoyment. Now for the music, guess who? It's Hiroyuki Sawano. The composer here? Yes. Finally something to look forward to. His style is very cinematic, and he knows what people want to hear. Oh yeah, he knows when you're awake. He knows when you're showering. Like a stalker. On a serious note, he knows what people like. Orchestral elements, electronic sounds, and a bit of rock mixed in the mix. Yes, he knows that people like a little bit of everything, and they like it loud. In this film, he uses a lot of choral elements in the soundtrack. The track, Infernos, is one of the most popular songs on the soundtrack, even had a concert called Live Inferno. Now Promare was everything a Gurren Lagann fan would want, what a Studio Trigger fan would want. It was a big hit with these group of people. Sure, if you watch it in theaters, it might impress you with the pretty lights and big fights. It might be interesting for someone who doesn't consume a lot of shows or anime. It delivers a message, but so does my mailman. So what's the big deal? The story was creative, but not unique or anything new. How did Promare make me feel? Well, it made me feel nothing, because truthfully, I didn't enjoy it that much. But maybe I'm not the targeted audience. Maybe it's just for Gurren Lagann fans or people who will watch anything Studio Trigger. I mean, I enjoyed the music, or at least it won me over with that. But I also like a lot of other anime with better soundtracks, so I guess not. It's good to watch to pass the time, but if you're looking for something exciting, creative, and with complex relationships, this isn't it. So that's my review of Promare. What did you guys think? Do you guys agree, disagree? Did you guys enjoy the film? Let me know in the comment section. More videos coming soon. Thanks for watching.